Okay, looks like we have an older 2011 or 2012 MacBook Air with quarter fan spin. Quarter fan spin is truly a completely miserable issue to solve because it can be caused by pretty much anything. Any little bit of corrosion on anything related to PCH or CPU or SPI, anything like that can cause this issue. So it is a very vague issue, could mean a lot of things. It could also mean there's a short somewhere, but in short, this is just a really difficult issue to solve. We're going to go take a look at this board and see if we can solve it here. So it looks pretty clean under initial examination. Can't really see much. Maybe if you have a really good eye, you could spot part of what's wrong. But let's go ahead and take the board out of this MacBook and let's get started. So, the first thing that points out to me is that Dum Dum was indeed here. Now, the reason why I say this is one, the SPI chip is messed with, and the reason why I say this number two is that this is the wrong SPI chip used on this board. See how there's a thermal package underneath? See how this is the wrong darn chip? So my guess is what someone did is somebody took a random SPI ROM and just put it on there expecting it to work because there's EFI unlocked. Well, guess what? That doesn't work. The SPI ROM needs to be, one, have a clean ME region. It needs to be made for the board that you put it on, not this kind of nonsense right here. And the other area that caught my eye was over here by the PCH. So by the PCH, we could see we have some corrosion on that MOSFET, and we have some really nice nonsense going on right here. So I can't tell if somebody tried to mess with this or this is just corroded. It could very well be that this is corroded. My guess is what happened is that another local repair store around here decided that, quarter fan spin, maybe replace SPI ROM, and it didn't work. And then they gave up because they did not see that this is corroded. This is probably why we have quarter fan spin, because if something power-wise is getting screwed up to our PCH, nothing is going to work. So now we have two issues here. One, we have the improper SPI ROM used here. And number two, we have an issue around our PCH. So my guess, this is not going to be that hard to fix right here, unless, of course, the PCH got a spike. In that case, we have a bigger problem on our hands, but we're not going to jump to any conclusions. The very first thing I want to try is just test around this area to see if any of this stuff is shorted. Maybe replace this, and then, of course, replace that nonsense SPI ROM that somebody put on there. So you cannot just pull that off of another board. It needs to have a clean ME region. And this actually, this stuff isn't shorted, it's just corroded. Yeah, it's just corroded, so let's try another SPI ROM. So what I'm going to do is just take it from another donor, see if it works, because my guess it's going to work because, Dum Dum was here. So let's go ahead and grab another board with this chip on it, the SPI ROM. This is an 820-3209, I believe. Let's see. 3208, so I was close. So this is, in reality, just going to be for testing. This isn't going to be permanent because we need to flash a clean ME region onto the chip. I do not know what the heck this person was thinking because this is not even the right chip used here, and I'm going to show you why. So let's take this off. I have no idea what flux they use, but it's pretty lousy. So yeah, see that? That wasn't even making good contact, I don't think. Okay, this is not the right chips. Don't look, just use your brain, okay? That's all I'm asking. So I'll get comments in this video when I upload it that, oh, it's not okay for others to repair, but it's okay for you, and other nonsense like that. No, this is what bothers me when you do stupid nonsense like this. This is not the right chip. There is a thermal pad here for a reason, and you use one of these old SPI ROMs, and I know it fits, but it's not right. Look, it does not work. This is not right. Do not do this. This is nonsense. And furthermore, where did you get this from? Because this is not made for this board. Did you take this off of an 820-3115 or something older and just expect it to work? This does not work. Stop doing this. Stop screwing with customer stuff if you do not know what you're doing. So with that being said, let's go ahead and clean all this junk off. Yeah, I think this one pin right here wasn't even making good contact. And let's put a new chip on just for testing. What the heck is this? I don't know. Some nasty flux. So I'm going to put some fresh solder down. Actually, let's just put a bunch down. Wick that away and then put some fresh 559 or 560 on there, any of the good stuff. I've gotten my latest tube of 559 and it seems better than before, so I think whatever happened at Amtech, they resolved. Just got a bad batch. Happens, no big deal. It's kind of a pain to buy 560, but it's still good stuff. I'll still keep it on hand. So now I'll get some good stuff. Actually, let's clean this all up. Then yeah, it really irritates me when people think that I'm discouraging repair because I get mad at something like this. I'm not discouraging repair. I'm discouraging nonsense like this. You know, as a 15-year-old, when I started, I never did anything like this. I still did it right. I never once screwed up a board and then sent it to somebody else. I never once destroyed something that wasn't, you know, fixable. And I never once put a wrong size package chip where another one was supposed to go. And then expect, you know what I mean? That's why there's no excuse for stupidity like this. Just use the right stuff, you know? Okay, I understand it fits, but doesn't mean, you know, just because if something fits right there doesn't mean you should put it there. Okay, so let's see. Pin 1, I'm going to double check on this is the EFI chip from the donor board. And please do not just replace this because you think the board has quarter fan spin. I'm going to double check on the donor board to make sure that pin is in the corner. 3208, yeah, should be close enough. I better double check on a 3209. I mean, I had it backwards. I opened a 3209, I should open a 3208. They're probably the same, but I just want to be thorough. Let's see, 3208, where are you? I don't actually get a lot of 3208s. I probably only worked on a few of these. 11-inch older MacBook Air. My guess is that people don't want to spend money to fix them because, you know, they're a bit older. 3208, where are you here? I'm going through my folder. It's got to be in here somewhere. 3243, 3208. Board view. Here we go. And pin 1 is correct. Okay, we're gonna let this cool for a second here. Should cool fairly quickly. So my overall main concern here is gonna be this MOSFET right here and the PCH having taken a spike. But I don't want to mess with it just yet because I don't know if the EFI will resolve the issue. So I'm gonna wait here. Put this back in closure a bit. If this does work, it will have ME region issues. So what I mean is, I've had shops that have done this. You cannot just take an EFI chip off that and expect it to work properly. This will turn on, this will boot. Usually they will boot when you do this, but it's going to have random issues. It won't boot, it won't see an SSD. If it does see an SSD, it's probably going to randomly crash. So it's not a viable long-term kind of thing. You need to put the correct chip on with a clean ME region. ME region, you could look up Intel ME region if you want more details on that, but basically there's a region of the BIOS that has a bunch of CPU data in it, and you can't just take that from a board that had another CPU on it. So we're going to go ahead and plug this in and see what we get. We may still get quarter fan spin. That's okay if we do. Let's plug it in. Fan spin. Quarter fan spin? No. regular fan spin because some moron put the wrong darn chip on the board. My guess is they took that off of a board that was completely the wrong model. It was probably an 820-3115 or something, and yeah, that's it. So this needs a new clean SPI ROM, and then this could be sent on its way. We'll go ahead and take care of that other little bit of corrosion first, and then this is all set. So we'll go ahead and do that now. But the lesson here, maybe I'm just being a little bit too harsh because I've had a bad day and I'm a little bit grumpy. But my lesson here is if you're a repair store, please watch these videos, do stuff right. Please, I'm not asking, I already know I'm going to get stupid comments on this that are going to say that, oh, you're just, talking down on other repair stores. No, I'm asking you very politely, please do stuff right. Please don't screw stuff up like this. Please, this is somebody's computer that who knows what was wrong with it to begin with. Just use your brain a little bit, okay? You see a chip is the wrong one, don't put it there. If you see something that does not fit right, like this obvious nonsense that this had on here, don't put it there. Use your brain just a little bit. That's all I'm asking. I'm not asking anything much. I'm just asking, just do the job right. That's all I'm asking. You just do it right. Don't do a halfway job on something because you're lazy or whatever else. Just use your brain. And if you legitimately cannot see that this is, if you took this off and your brain could literally not comprehend that this is different, then I don't know what to tell you. That's a completely different story. But anyway, let's get rid of these MOSFETs right here. The PCH is sensitive from heat, so we're going to shield this. We're going to put a heatsink here just to prevent it from getting overheated. It's always a good idea. Make sure it makes contact, which it kind of doesn't. In that case, what we'll do is put a little tad of thermal paste here. Just a little bit, like that. And I hope this syringe doesn't spill thermal paste over my bench. Hate when that happens. Okay, let's turn on our fume extractor. Now this works, obviously, okay? This works. Some shops will send this out and say, hey, works, it's done. But you can't leave this. It's not, look at it. That will not last. Although it's not failed, it's just not going to last, I don't like heating this close to the PCH, but sometimes you have to do what you have to do. There's that one. There's this. Come on. Come off. You can see that was pretty corroded, pretty bad. That's off. So I tried to minimize heat to the PCH as much as I can. It's not that big of a deal, though. As long as you're careful, as long as you're not dumb with it, you'll be fine. I've seen corners of the PCH all burned and stuff from people doing stuff like this. So we'll scrape away some of this junk. Clip the end of our wick off. So one thing, like when your wick gets like this, don't even try. Just clip it off. I'm lazy and I tend not to do it, but yeah. Some fresh solder down there. Good to go. And some more flux, because why not? Use as much as we want, because we'll ultrasonic the board before we're done with it. Let's grab our 3208 donor, and this 3208 donor has had some nonsense with the PCH, it looks like. Edge bonding is removed, and there's a hole drilled through it. But, perfectly good MOSFET, I hope. Yeah, that MOSFET hasn't been touched at all. Of course not. Genuine, 100% genuine new parts. No, in all reality, that MOSFET's going to be just fine. Has flux around it from whoever did anything to the PCH. And my phone is ringing. We're going to hit decline. Continue on this board. Fresh MOSFET. I've replaced enough CPU MOSFETs for a day. Cap. And done. So obviously it's not a good idea to test this again right now because the PCH is burning hot, and yeah, you don't want to turn on a PCH that's burning hot. So I'm going to let this cool down for a second, and then we will give it another test and see if it still works. Okay, the board is cooled. Let's go ahead and put it in the enclosure, see if we get image and everything. Like I said, it doesn't have a clean ME region. This is just for testing, so it's not really going to work properly, but it should give us an image at least. Image, backlight, all that stuff. Just put in the trackpad cable, just so I make sure the fans don't go high or anything like that from PCH sensor, anything crazy like that. Should be fine, but these 11-inch boards are kind of a pain to put in because it's like they're kind of awkward in how they fit. Sometimes what I do is I take the battery out and it's a lot easier, but this doesn't look too bad. They're not too bad. They're a little bit of a pain. Let's go ahead and put this cable in. Plug it in. Fan is spinning. You can see there. No more quarter fan spin. And yeah. Fixed. Well, I'll let it get the question mark folder. It's not going to work properly, but you guys get the message. It turns on now. But yeah, again, I repeat my message. If you're doing this stuff, just take the time and learn. Do it properly. Here's my advice to any repair store that's doing this stuff. I don't get the mindset of doing this. Do it proper or don't do it at all. I get there's a learning curve. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to screw up when you're starting. But there's no excuse for this. If you're going to do the job, do it right, or at least attempt to do the job right, and don't just do stuff like this. You know, just because it fits doesn't mean it works, you know. Yes, the chips technically do the same thing, but it's not even the right package type. As I say before, just do the job right. If you're going to do it right. And that's it for right now. Thank you for watching.